take this privilege to warmly welcome you all to the first day of International Conference on Intelligent Technologies, CONIT 2023. Indeed, it's a proud moment for KLEIT and all of us to inaugurate IEEE International Conference CONIT 2023. Now let us watch inaugural video. Inaugural video, please.
And gentlemen, may I have your attention? Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts. 10, 9, 8, 7,
Thank you all. I now request all the dignitaries to occupy seats on the dais. Please, sir. Thank you, sir. Seeking the blessings of God marks the beginning of any auspicious moment. I request Sangeeta Vrinda to seek blessings from Almighty to make this event the successful one. Over to you, Sangeeta Vrinda.
जयतु गजानन मूषकवाहन ಮಾಡುವೆ ವಂದನೆಯ ಪ್ರಭುವೇ ಬೇಡುವೆ ಸನ್ಮತಿಯ ಜಯತು ಗಜಾನನ ಮೂಷಕವಾಹನ ಮಾಡುವೆ ವಂದನೆಯ ಪ್ರಭುವೇ ಬೇಡುವೆ ಸನ್ಮತಿಯ ಕೈಯುವೆ ನಿನ್ನಯ ಗುಣಗಾನವನು ಜೋಡಿಸಿ ಸುಮಧುರ ಸಂಗೀತವನು ಕೈಯುವೆ ನಿನ್ನಯ ಗುಣಗಾನವನು ಜೋಡಿಸಿ ಸುಮಧುರ ಸಂಗೀತವನು ಅತಿಥಿ ನರುಣ ನೀನೆ ದಯಾಮಯ ಅತಿಥಿ ನರುಣ ನೀನೆ ದಯಾಮಯ ತೋರೆನ್ನಲಿ ಕೃಪೆಯ ಪ್ರಭುವೇ ಮಾಡುವೆ ವಂದನೆಯ ಪ್ರಭುವೇ ಬೇಡುವೆ ಸನ್ಮತಿಯ ಭಕ್ತಿಯ ಕುಸುಮದ ಮಾಲೆಯ ಹೆಣೆದು ಅರ್ಪಿಸುವೆ ನಿನ್ನಡಿಯಲಿ ಮಣಿದು ಭಕ್ತಿಯ ಕುಸುಮದ ಮಾಲೆಯ ಹೆಣೆದು ಅರ್ಪಿಸುವೆ ನಿನ್ನಡಿಯಲಿ ಮಣಿದು ಮನ್ನಿಸಿ ವಿನ್ನಹ ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸಯ್ಯ ಮನ್ನಿಸಿ ವಿನ್ನಹ ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸಯ್ಯ ಹೊರೆ ಕರುಣಾ ಹೃದಯ ಪ್ರಭುವೇ ಮಾಡುವೆ ವಂದನೆಯ ಪ್ರಭುವೇ ಬೇಡುವೆ ಸನ್ಮತಿಯ ಜಯತು ಗಜಾನನ ಮೂಷಕವಾಹನ ಮಾಡುವೆ ವಂದನೆಯ ಪ್ರಭುವೇ ಬೇಡುವೆ ಸನ್ಮತಿಯ ಪ್ರಭುವೇ ಮಾಡುವೆ ವಂದನೆಯ
Thank you, Sangeeta Vrinda. Now I request Dr. Eriswamy sir, convener CONIT 2023, professor and head of the department CSE, KLEIT Hubli, to welcome all. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, all. Present excellencies, invited guests, participants, teachers, and my dear friends. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a welcome speech on the occasion of inaugural event of Third International Conference on Intelligent Technologies, CONIT 2023, technically sponsored by IEEE Bangalore section. I, on behalf of KLE Society, KLE Institute of Technology, IEEE Bangalore section, and the entire fraternity of intelligent technologies here together and on my behalf extend a very heartily welcome to the event. In his absentia, I am immensely happy to welcome the president of the today's program, Sri Shankaranai Munavalliji, member Board of Management, KLE Institute of Technology, Hubballi. I am honored to welcome the today's honorable chief guest, Dr. Zia Saqib, founder and CEO, Artificial Intelligence in Healthcare Medical Devices, ex-senior vice president, Reliance Jio, ex-CDAC director, Mumbai, for gracing the occasion. Sir, we are eager to hear your valuable words. I request our principal, Dr. Sharadji Joshiji, to welcome our chief guest, Dr. Zia Saqib. Thank you, sir. I am honored to welcome today's honorable guest of honor, Dr. Manohar M. Pai, Professor, Manipal Institute of Technology, for gracing the occasion. Sir, we are inspired by your presence. I request our Dean, Dr. Manu TM, to welcome Manohar sir. I am also deeply honored to welcome our honorable guest of honor, Dr. Basavarajas Anami, Registrar, KLE Technological University, Hubballi. I request Dr. Vinoda ma'am, Professor and Head, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, to welcome Basavaraj Anami sir. Thank you, ma'am. I am pleased to welcome our keynote speakers, Dr. Suman De, Senior Product Manager, SAPS Lab, Bangalore, for gracing the occasion. Sir, we are eager to hear your lecture. I request Dr. Santosh sir, Professor, Head and Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, to welcome Suman De sir. Thank you, sir. I'm also pleased to welcome our keynote lecturer, Dr. Jayaprakash Thakur, PhD, Principal Engineer, Intel Technologies, Bangalore, India, for gracing the function. Sir, your lecture will inspire us. I request Dr. Rajshekar sir, Professor and Head, Department of Civil Engineering, to welcome Dr. Jayaprakash Thakur. Thank you, sir. I am pleased to welcome our principal, Dr. Sharadji Joshi sir, General Chair, Third International Conference on Intelligent Technologies, CONIT 2023. We welcome you, sir. I am also pleased to welcome our Dean, Dr. Manu TM, Publication Chair, Third International Conference on Intelligent Technologies, CONIT 2023. We welcome you, sir. I welcome all the authors across the country and the world for gracing the occasion and eager to share their findings. I welcome you all. I also welcome our keynote speakers, Dr. Jonan, University of Zelina, Slovakia, and Dr. Hussein, IEEE PES Chair, Diola University, Iraq. I welcome you, sir. I'm pleased to welcome industry delegates for the conference and spare their valuable time with us. I welcome all the press and media, invitees, delegates, heads of department, faculty, staff, and students for this inaugural function. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I now request all the dignitaries to inaugurate this ceremony by lighting the lamp. Please, sir. Thank you all. As a part of this inaugural ceremony, the research papers that will be presented in this conference are made available in the conference proceedings. I request all the dignitaries to release the conference proceedings. Please. Thank you all. I am honored to introduce you the General Chair of CONIT 2023, Dr. Sharat G. Joshi, sir, who is also serving as Principal KLEIT Hubballi. He is also a true intellectualist person known for his leadership and inspirational qualities. I request Dr. Sharat G. Joshi, sir, to give brief note on CONIT 2023. Over to you, sir.
A very good morning to all of you assembled over here. Respected chief guest of the function, Dr. Jia Saqib, founder and CEO of AI in Healthcare from Mumbai. The guests of honor, Dr. Manohar Pai, Professor, Department of ICT, MIT Manipal. Dr. Basavaraj Anami, Registrar, KLEIT Technological University, Hubli. Main keynote speakers of this CONIT 2023, Mr. Suman Dey, Product Manager, SAP Technologies, Mumbai. Bangalore. Dr. Jayaprakash Thakurji, Principal Engineer, Intel, Bengaluru. And the speakers joining online, Dr. Joanna Rosak, University of Zilina, Slovakia, and Dr. Hussein Mehdi, Diyala University, Iraq. And one of the driving forces for the preparatory works, Mr. Harish Patil. I think he's somewhere here. And all the delegates joining from various countries online and joining in physical mode here, the research scholars, press and media, and dear loving students. I'm indeed extremely happy to share as General Chair of CONIT 2023 an overview of this conference. The CONIT 2023 is the third edition in a row. The international conference hosted in association with IEEE Bangalore section, which is a Scopus indexed conference. The theme of the conference focuses on advanced, smart and intelligent technologies in engineering domains. The CONIT this time has been grouped into several themes like data science and engineering, computing technologies, computational intelligence, communication and networking, signal and image processing, RF circuits, systems and antennas, devices, circuits, materials and processing, power, energy and power electronics, robotics, control, instrumentation and automation, biomedical engineering and healthcare technologies. These are the different tracks in which the CONIT 2023 is expected to proceed further. If we take a look back for the two CONITs that we had, CONIT 2021 and 2022 in the same venue, we can see that there is a huge, tremendous progress in both quality and quantity. I would just give a few salient features of these CONITs 21, 22 and 23. While in CONIT 21, the countries represented were 19, in CONIT 22, there are 23 countries were represented, and in this CONIT 23, we have 26 countries which have been represented in the proceedings. The papers received also is on the rise. While in 21, we received 1,232 papers. In 22, we received 1,345 papers. In this conference, we received 1,735 papers. Again on the rise. The papers that are being presented also is on the rise. 290 were the papers presented in CONIT 21, 312 in CONIT 22, and 330 in CONIT 23, that is this year. While all these are on the rise, the acceptance rate has reduced because of the stringent quality check that the IEEE has exercised on these three occasions. While 26% was the acceptance rate in 21, 24% in 22, 22% has been this year's acceptance rate. So it speaks of the improvements in the quality of the papers that we have received, and of course the quantity I have already explained. In CONIT 21, we had chief guest in Dr. S.N. Singh, Professor, Department of Electrical Engineering, IIT Kanpur, former Vice Chancellor of Madan Mohan Malviya University, and also IEEE India Council Chair for 2020. We had chief guest in Dr. Suresh Nair in 2022, who was the Chair IEEE India Council. And this year we have a chief guest in as nice a person like Dr. Jia Saqib, founder and CEO of Artificial Intelligence in Healthcare and Medical Services, ex-Senior Vice President of Reliance Jio and ex-CDAC Director from Mumbai. So this year also, we have a battery of stalwarts in speakers as well. Guests of honor, this year's guests of honor are Dr. Manohar Pai, Professor, Department of Information and Communication Technology, Manipal Institute of Technology, Manipal. And the second guest of honor is our own Dr. Basavaraj Anami, who is presently the Registrar of KLEIT Technological University, who also happens to be the ex-chair of North Karnataka IEEE subsection in 2022. So I have the honor to be with these distinguished persons, along with the distinguished speakers this year. Mr. Suman Dey, Senior Product Manager of SAB Labs in Bangalore, and Dr. Jayaprakash Thakur, Principal Engineer in Intel Technology, Bangalore, India. Dr. Joanna Rosak, Department of Production Engineering from University of Zilina, Poland, Slovakia. Dr. Hussein Mahdi, University of Diyala in Iraq. So these are the distinguished speakers, along with the session chairs and the scholars who are presenting their papers. We have a very good the food for brain in the next 2 days that the conference is going to be there. So there has been a tremendous progress in the last 3 CONITs that we had in Hubballi and in the same venue, for both in quantity as well as in quality. we would request IEEE to further give us such opportunities in future as well to host events, which we will do with pleasure and pride. So I would appeal to all the delegates on this occasion to make best use of the stalwarts that are present over here and use their knowledge and experience and expertise to upgrade, to extend their own research to higher levels of supremacy. Now, as head of the institute, I would extend a warm welcome to all the delegates, all the guests of honor, the chief guest, and everyone present over here to enjoy the serene beauty of this campus. And I would thank IEEE and all of you for having provided us this opportunity to host all of you. So thank you one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your brief insight about the conference. I now request Vijeta ma'am and Jyoti ma'am to introduce today's chief guest, Dr. Zia Saqib, and guests of honor, Dr. Manohar M. Pai and Dr. Anami, sir. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. I, Vijeta Patil, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, feel privileged to introduce today's chief guest, Dr. Zia Saqib. Dr. Zia Saqib is working as the Senior Vice President of Technology, Innovation and Development at Geo Platforms Limited since August 2017. Prior to this, he worked as Executive Director of the Center for Development of Advanced Computing, CDAC, Mumbai, for about 12 years. From January 2006 till July 2017, where he headed the R&D department in biometrics, cybersecurity, and e-governance. Many such initiatives later culminated into successful products under the National E-Governance Plan of India. His primary interests are in the areas of adaptive signal processing, computer vision, and artificial intelligence. He applies these areas to develop technology for government-to-citizen platforms and healthcare applications. Lately, he has rolled out a healthcare AI portal that addresses the gap in rural and remote areas for screening and detection of diabetic eye diseases such as diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, and age-related macular edema. With this brief introduction, it's my honor to present to this august gathering the chief guest, Dr. Zia Saqib. Thank you, everyone. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. I, Jyoti CK, Assistant Professor, Electronics and Communication Department, feel privileged to introduce guest of honor of today's function, Dr. Manohar M. Pai. Dr. Manohar Pai, sir, is Senior Professor in the Department of Information and Communication Technology, Manipal Institute of Technology, Manipal. Sir is having a rich experience of 31 years in industry, research, and teaching. He has established the Department of Information and Communication Technology in MIT and was heading the department from the year 2001 to 2008 and has been Associate Director of Innovation Center from 2008 to 2017 and Associated Director of Research and Consultancy from 2017 to 2020 and has been instrumental in setting up of Innovation Center, MU Technology Business Incubator at MIT and was founder CEO. Sir holds 8 granted patents, published 140 plus papers in national and international journals, conference proceedings, and also published 2 books. Recently, he was awarded with National Technical Teachers Award from Ministry of Education, Government of India on September 2022. Sir has also received an award for mentoring the innovation of indigenous dental implants technology from Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Government of India. With this introduction, it's my pride to present guest of honor of today's function, Dr. Manohar M. Pai. Now, with due respect and dignity, I introduce guest of honor, Dr. Baswaraj S. Anami, Registrar, KLEIT Technological University, Hubballi. Sir worked as professor and head of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering in Basveshwar Engineering College, Bagalkot from the year 1990 to 2008 and was the founder principal of KLEIT Hubballi in the year 2008 to 2022. Now, Sir is registrar in KLEIT Technological University, Hubballi. Sir has coordinated 7 direct central assistance projects related to computer science worth a total of rupees 110 lakhs since 1986. Sir has received a grant of 10 lakhs for research work, image processing applications for grading of agriculture, horticulture produce. And his other grants include 8 lakhs from VTU and 10 lakhs for his project from AICTE New Delhi. Some of his achievements include Lifetime Achievement Award by IEEE NKSS subsection 2021-2022. And he is a reviewer of Elsewhere Journal of Systems and Software. Sir is member advisory groups for consultation on New Education Policy 2020 under Multidisciplinary Education and Research Improvement in Technical Education, Ministry of Education, India. Sir was a chairman board of studies in computer science, Vishveshwaraya Technological University, Belgavi from 2016 to 2019. Sir was also a member academic senate in VTU, Belgavi from 2016 to 2022. Sir has published 120 research papers in referred journals, 70 papers in national and international conferences, also published 3 books. With this introduction, I take pride to present guest of honor, Dr. Basavaraj S. Anami, Registrar, KLEIT Technological University, Hubballi. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I now request Honorable Chief Guest Dr. Zia Saqib sir to address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Good morning to all of you. Good morning to all the esteemed luminaries here sitting here, the delegates and my co-chief guests. I'm actually very honored to be here today because of many reasons. One is that, this conference is about intelligent technologies. And I think I'll be able to say something about it. I have a very short presentation. Yes, please. Yeah. Yeah, we talk a lot about intelligent systems, artificial intelligence. Now we happen to be working in an area which is, I think is very relevant in the present times, which is medical technology and healthcare. This I've been working for last about 6 or 7 years. It's needless to say that healthcare happens to be one of the most pressing needs of the country. As all of you know, the healthcare situation in the country is not very good. And the worst part is that people who live away from the metropolis, big cities, they do not see any advantage of all this which is going on in the world. We talk about AI and technology and innovation, entrepreneurship. And it is a sad part that almost 80 to 90% of the population of the country does not even know or does not get advantage of it. So what should be done? So we have been working in this area in Reliance Jio to take many of these technologies and benefits of technology to the not only rural area, but even when we talk about tier 2, tier 3 cities in the country, they do not have the right infrastructure to address many of these ailments. Next. Yeah. So our research has been focused in basically intersection of 3 fields, which are relevant. One is, of course, AI, which is the buzzword these days, last 10 years or so. AI has been used sometimes as a hype, but some part of it is useful. Engineering, of course, we all engineers sitting here, and public policy. So unless actually you touch public policy and what is happening in the government, most of the technologies remain in the lab. We do something, we show it to a group of very elitist group of people, and it gets archived in some kind of a journal or a conference proceedings of some library. So taking this into public policy and making it practical is what we do. So we are AI plus engineering plus public policy. And our main goals are, of course, my area of interest is image processing, computer vision, machine learning, and those kind of areas, to be able to improve detection and prediction of diseases. I think it's a very relevant area. I think all of you will agree. And what kind of diseases are we talking about? Today, I'll talk about 3 diseases which are very prevalent in India. One is, of course, diabetes. All of us know somebody who has diabetes, right? A very deadly disease, sometimes can be life-threatening. Then I also talk about kidney disease, which also happens to be a big killer. And third one, which has become kind of a pandemic now, is breast cancer. And I'll present some statistics to show you what is the seriousness of these diseases and how we as technology people, engineers, can actually make a small contribution to this. So what we do a lot of disease surveillance. We go to villages, remote areas, and try to detect these diseases early on. But all of you know, all these diseases, if caught early on, can be prevented, can be even reversed in many cases. Then we also, being part of Geo and being part of Reliance, you cannot ignore the business part of it, right? After all, it is not an academic institution, it is a business entity. So we also talk about how first you create an ecosystem for surveillance of disease. Then you see if there is a business case in it. Okay. And then use some kind of a hub and spoke model to take it to the last mile. Okay. So if you have all these things together in an environment like Reliance, we have more chances of success. Because if you do only research, you have limitations. If you talk only about business, there are people who are bigger in business than you, you have limitations. And then you talk about hub and spoke and how do you leverage this and take it to the. So we talk about in my group, in our division, we talk about 2 types of impacts. The first impact has to be societal impact. And of course, to survive in a big organization, you have to have a business impact. Just some statistics about diabetes. As of last week, or maybe end of May, there are more than 150 million people in this country who are suffering from diabetes. And you know what? Many people are actually entering that zone now, pre-diabetic. The more and more people are entering into diabetes every year. And this number is a very dangerously increasing number. And approximately 12% of these 150 or so, 160 million people, which is approximately 15 to 20 million people, they develop eye diseases because of diabetes and because of diabetic complications. And you'll be surprised to know that almost 80% of them, because of lack of early detection and intervention, they become blind. To be, to be blunt. And many of them lose sight up to 80%, which means they cannot see most of the things. They're almost blind, but not legally blind. So the numbers are very scary, very bad. And most surprisingly, there are no early symptoms. When people start to lose their sight, there are hardly any symptoms. You don't even know. Okay. And to make that problem worse, the number of ophthalmologists in this country is a very small number, which is 25,000. So 25,000 ophthalmologists in a country of 140 crores. You do the math, what is the ratio? It comes down to 1 in, I think, 3.5 lakhs. So for every 3.5 lakh people, there's only one ophthalmologist. So it doesn't look good. So where do we help here? Now, in this scenario where we have very few doctors, such a large problem, AI actually steps in to help. We can automate many of these things. And because of the power of image processing, automation, AI, we can put all these things together to give the world a practical solution. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, this is the second statistics about breast cancer. 30.12 or 30.12% of all new cancers which are detected in women were in 2002. It's almost 30%. And I'm sure this year it would be a more dangerous number, something like 32, 33%. One woman is diagnosed of cancer, breast cancer, every 4 minutes. And one woman dies in India every 8 minutes. The mortality rate is almost half of that. About 1.4 lakh women died of breast cancer in the year 2022. But the number is 3 times more people who are actually suffering from stage 2, stage 3 kind of a breast cancer. And the gold standard for breast cancer detection, the mammograms, ultrasound, MRI, PET scan, are not accessible to many people. I think all of you will agree. Mammograms require pretty heavy investments. They're very heavy machines. Mammogram by themselves are very painful. It causes a lot of radiation. It has a lot of contact and a lot of uncomfortable procedures. Ultrasound requires a very specialized radiologist to do that. And how many radiologists are there in the country? You'll be surprised. Less than the number of ophthalmologists. MRI is prohibitively expensive, very expensive. Not only expensive, it may not be found in many tier 2, tier 3 cities. So, I mean, if with all these numbers I'm throwing at you, should these women who are living in tier 2, tier 3 cities and villages, should they be left behind? Do you think because number one, they cannot afford such technologies and such expenditure, or just because they don't have access to it? So we have to come up with something which is more practical, which is more easily accessible. So one is, I just want to show you this camera which is being developed, which almost developed. We believe that fundus cameras which examine your eyes should be portable. Okay. Most of the cameras which are available today in the market, what they call is a desktop cameras. They are very heavy and very expensive. It can cost up to 35 lakhs. Very cumbersome to use and require a lot of training. What we are developing is a handheld camera, which can be carried easily, requires less training, less expensive, okay, and more affordable. Second is this camera, which is, this is not our camera, is a thermal camera, which is used for breast cancer imaging. And using IR thermal imaging, we can actually detect not only cancer, but also other abnormalities in the breast. Some applications we have developed so that people actually, the way it works right now, we have about 200 doctors who are using it, who are using the fundus camera across the country. And every user, every subject has access to their own information. So every time you visit your diabetologist or general physician, he will take a snap of your eyes, your retina, and you can see progress, whether you are getting worse or getting better, or you're the same, okay, on your smartphone for free. So that, you know, the compliance becomes easier. See, if you go to a doctor and doctor gives you a prescription or advice, majority of us do not follow it. Okay, he says, don't eat this, don't eat that, walk every day, do exercise. How many of us follow? Okay. But if you hand him a report saying that this is how your eyes look like, your eyes are going, you're going to be blind in the next 3 years, then there's more compliance, because now he has that in his front of his eyes. He can see my eyes are getting worse, and compliance becomes higher. People become more aware of their health once you give them a report. So we give them a report, we give them a copy of the copy of the report, show them the way their eyes are looking compared to last time, this time, you know, and progressive. This application is available, and whoever gets scanned by our cameras, they can actually monitor their own health. And many times we hear stories from doctors saying that the compliance has improved after they see their own eyes, okay? Because this is very visual. Normally diabetes is not very visual. You only hear about numbers, your sugar level or any other biomarker. But in this case, there's a physical visual biomarker. This is a typical setup we have used for breast thermal imaging. Very simple. We have this camera. Okay. I showed you that camera. And we asked the subject little preparation, a little pre-planning. So these patients come to our hospitals, and they have to sit in an air-conditioned room for 30 minutes to cool down their body. And then we take a snap of their body. If you look at this figure here, okay, the red spots actually show elevated temperatures in the body, inside the body, which we capture through our camera. And on the right-hand side, if you see, there are no temperature points. These are signatures. These are heat signatures which are found inside the body, and they indicate if there's something wrong with the tissue inside. So we do a lot of analytics on this, and then we give a report. So in this case, for example, we tell this patient that you might be developing something which can lead to cancer. It may not be cancer today, lead to cancer. Now, in mammography, I mean, I don't know how many of you know this, mammograms are not recommended for women who are below 40. Mammograms are only for women who are above 40. That is one. And number two is that most women who are below 40, they have something called, technical term is called dense tissue. Dense tissue does not do very well with X-rays. Okay, so doctors do not recommend mammograms for younger women. So where do these women go? Okay, if they can't do a mammogram. So this kind of technology actually helps women of all ages. You know, I'm talking about women as young as maybe 25 all the way to maybe 70 years can go through this. There is no radiation, there is no contact, there is no pain, absolutely nothing. Very safe, As I said, no radiation, no invasive, no touching, nothing, no contact, is very fast, effective, and it gives you early detection as compared to mammograms, which is actually a structural image. Mammograms gives you a structural image, which means mammogram can detect cancer only after it has developed cancer. Whereas IR actually can detect cancer before it is developing into that direction. So it in many ways is early detection, which is our mandate. So we are not interested in detecting cancers in women who are already detected. So they're already in the pathway of the treatment, and they are. So we are looking at women who are not positive yet, who might be positive, and if they get early treatment, they can save their lives. And I mean, I have, in my experience, last couple of years, have met many women who are survivors of cancer, and the stories I hear from them are heart-wrenching. When somebody gets cancer, it is not only that person who suffers, the whole family. You have financial, emotional, physical stress, which can kill you faster than cancer itself. Okay, so cancer is a deadly disease, and it is our mandate to reduce this disease burden from the population as much as possible. Now, how can AI help in this? One is, of course, analytics, but that's not the only way AI can help. You can improve, obviously, accuracy of diagnosis, prognosis, risk prediction, and prevention. That is one, very practical. You can reduce medical errors and medication errors. In cancer, the way treatment works is that doctors treat you with the one particular group of medicines. Okay, it's more of a hit and trial method. If it works for you, for the person, fine. If it doesn't, they move you to a different set of medicines, and so on and so forth. But by the time he moves you to the third set of medicines, it may be too late. So we reduce medication errors. Okay, so we give a very optimized pathway for doctors to follow. Reduce unnecessary patient visits. In one visit, the doctor can give a very comprehensive report. Optimize clinical processes, such as resource allocation. I have only 10 cameras, for example. How can I use these 10 cameras in 100 villages? A lot of optimization algorithms are being used. And then, of course, identifying of subgroups of patients, discover new medical knowledge. Interestingly, a lot of medical knowledge has come out of this activity than in medicine itself, last 10 years or so. As engineers, I'm proud to say that we have added, although incremental, to the knowledge base of medicine. And obviously, automate detection of relevant findings. I'll show you these reports can be detected, they can be prepared and dispatched within 60 seconds. And in the end, what matters is improves quality of care and population health outcomes. So who wins? The population wins, people win. An example of an eye, retina, if you look in the left-hand side, this is a retina, and this is a retina which has some pathology. So a doctor will take 15 to 20 minutes to observe this and make any observations and recommendations. This can be done, using AI in seconds, maybe less than a second. Using image processing. We use very efficient and accurate search algorithms for images. And you use something like a hierarchical image processing techniques. So if you find the problem in a particular area of the eye, we go further down, increase the resolution, and find more details about it. Automate detection. So I can handle 2,000 patients in a day. Any doctor can handle that kind of a scale? No. 2,000 patients in a day using 2 or 3 cameras. Second advantage of AI in this is that how do I group people who have similar pathologies? Doctors don't do that. You go to a doctor today, he looks at you, he prescribes medicine and hands over the file to you. Come next time with this file. He does not retain anything. In our case, we retain the history of all the patients. So we can automate a group of pathologies. And then, of course, typical example of eye and what kind of diseases we have. We have diabetic retinopathy, macular edema, glaucoma, cataract, and even kidney diseases can be detected using eye exams. So this is a very typical example of a report which we generate. And this report is generated within 60 seconds. So you take a image, submit the image to the backend engine, AWS, and we take the image and then we say whether any detection of any pathology, yes or no, and we give some recommendations, and it goes to the email of the doctor within 60 seconds. Actually, it's much less than 60 seconds. Sometimes it might take 60 seconds because of network delays. Okay. So fast, accurate, cheap, and it can be used in places where there is no ophthalmologist. So if you add this up, I think the societal impact is significant. Any questions you may have, please email me at this address. We have a website, dhishtei.in, and I'll be glad to answer questions. I'm also looking for people who can be part of our group, maybe as interns or potentially as colleagues. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your educative talk. I now request guest of honor, Dr. Manohar MM to address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, and my dear students. It's an honor for me to be associated with the third international conference on intelligent technologies organized here in Hubballi, that is KLEIT Hubballi. If I look at the conference theme, intelligent technologies, the moment you hear intelligent technologies, everybody thinks only AI, machine learning, data analytics, cloud computing. Is it good? Is it transformative? Is it destructive? We don't know. But there are three perspectives. We academicians and students we guide, we think that these are the future technologies. Industries already gone into industry 4.0. Now, if you look at electronic industry, electrical industry, EV is coming. They are also getting into electric 4.0. What it means, industry 4.0, industry electric 4.0, it means that bring in AI, data analytics into industry for improving the processes. So there are three different perspectives. One is academicians who are head bent to bring in progress in the technologies, provide academic input, provide proof of concepts. Industry wants to make money out of it. But the third component, you must have seen last week, it's a big debate world over. AI is extincting the thinking. Okay, European Union came out with a lot of policies last week. And so-called global leaders who have been making a lot of money over a period of time have become now philanthropists. I mean, it's a positive sense I'm talking about, have found that there is a danger of AI, and they want UN to come and make policies, because thinking of people is extincting. I mean, it's getting extinct. So people like students are confused. So my advice to the students is that the AI, data analytics, they are the technologies, they are like earlier fission fusion. Fission fusion were beneficial to the society if it is used, say, for power generation. At the same time, destructive if it becomes part of bombs. AI also may be having that type of danger, but there is a opportunity. Again, UN has defined goals, sustainability development goals. There are 17 sustainable development goals defined by UN, where that could be used by the researchers to align their research for developing new technologies using AI, data analytics, cloud computing, which is useful and beneficial to the society. So my personal feeling is that we have to work, and for this AI, data analytics, who is the best technology developer and producer? It is the new generation population, that is our students, who could be engineering students or any branch of engineering students who adopts AI, data analytics. And in fact, I'm thankful to Jyoti, who read my biodata, saying that 8 patents, 130, 140 papers, all those things. This is not my only contribution, it is the contribution of students. So intelligent technologies, the major contributors are the students, because the faith in the students to get more outcome as far as this technology is concerned is very high. So in fact, today teachers have to share their expertise, experience to mold these people to get new technologies, new products aligned with SDG. And to get this information, it is important this IEEE like platforms play key role. So I have been interacting with IEEE for the last 15, 20, I mean, almost 20 years. And since 2016, it is a great push for me through IEEE, because we were getting a lot of knowledge. So I'm actually involved since 2016 as part of IEEE, and I'm thankful to the organizers here for giving me an opportunity to be part of this, and I'm thankful to all the students. I actually have seen some papers today. Excellent work have been done by the students, and I have presented as part of this conference. So big thanks to the participants and students who are the great future as far as these technologies are concerned. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your informative talk. I now request another guest of honor, Dr. B.S. Anami, sir, to address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon to everyone. Respected dignitaries on the dais, specifically the chief guest of this function, Dr. Jia Sakib, then my good friend Dr. Manohar Pai, guest of honor, and Principal Dr. Joshi, Dean Dr. Manu, and Head of the Department of Computer Science, Dr. Erisona. It's again a homecoming for me. We started this journey long back in 2021. We started with the first version of first edition of CONIT. We formulated that word, Conference on Intelligent Technologies. Then now we are in the third edition. As it is rightly mentioned by Dr. Joshi, that there's a good lot of improvement both in quality and quantity. And again, he said the acceptance has been reduced to 22%. It's a good thing that speaks about the quality of the papers that are being presented in this conference. In fact, I'm not going to say anything about intelligence and all that. Okay, ours is a natural intelligence, as it is rightly mentioned by Pai. It is a threat. Okay, so let us not worry about the intelligence. And one thing is why these conferences and why we need to participate in these conferences. In fact, it's a good platform for everyone to present their research findings, which one normally does in a particular area or on a particular topic. Then after presenting the papers and all, one can hone his research questions. Research questions are very, very important. Without hypothesis, you cannot write the thesis. Okay, and most of us think research as an implementation issue, which is very, very wrong concept which present generation has. In these conferences, while presenting your papers, you get a good amount of feedback. With that feedback, you can improve upon your research, and in whole, you can do a lot of service to the research community. And it's an occasion wherein you can listen to others also. You can listen to good experts like we have Suman Day, we have got Jay Prakash. You can listen to them as you listen to Dr. Jia. So it's an opportunity to interact with the industry people, and especially when I just talked to Dr. Jia, I said I am also into image processing. So there's a networking possible. And this networking helps in long run. Those who are doing research keep these contacts alive so that tomorrow you can find them as reviewers for your work. So that's again one advantage of participating in conferences. And whether you present your paper or not present a paper, but you do participate in conferences, which gives you a lot of awareness about the technological development, and you can keep yourself updated, and you can get to know from others how people are working in your own area, so that you get something different in your mind. And again, some more things which as an organizing institute gets an advantage is that it becomes a publicity kind of advantage the institute has. It can showcase its infrastructure, it can showcase its manpower, and many more things are the advantages for the institution. And the people who participate in this whole organizing the conference will have a good experience in terms of extending the hospitality, in terms of communicating with the people, receiving the people. All that is the good experience one gets out of organizing such conferences in the institute. And as it is rightly said by guest of honor and the chief guest, you get to know the technological developments, you can keep yourself up to date, updated. And research should not have only the shelf value. No, only papers, and papers should be kept in the shelf or in the archive. It is better to have something useful to the society. As chief guest mentioned about the portable thermal camera for fundus images. So it's again a great thing one can do by doing a good amount of research, and you can contribute back to the society. And one thing, while presenting your paper, at the end, you'll be subjected to some question answering sessions wherein you will feel yourself confident in answering what you have presented. So many people overshoot that. Whatever the presentation you do, you have to do in the allocated time period. If you overshoot it, then there will be reduction in the question answering session. Then there will not be any use of your presentation, because you want to get the feedback from the audience. So it's a good thing that you have a good number of delegates for this third edition of CONIT 2023. What I feel is a lot of effort has gone behind organizing this conference. As I said, right from 2021, that IEEE India Council, Dr. Jha and again Dr. Harish Patil, they came forward and they helped us in organizing the first edition. Until the third edition, their support is continued. And there are many people behind that, like Sridhar Alagi and then Ravi Osmani, who are active in this IEEE activities. So computer science and electronics people have come together and made this conference happen for the third time. It's a great event, and I appeal to all the delegates of this conference to make use of this opportunity, present your papers very well, and get some learning happen. And I congratulate the principal, then head of the Department of Computer Science, head of the Department of Electrical, Electronics, and the entire team which is behind this organization of this conference. So once again, congratulations to all of you, and thank you for giving me an opportunity. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir, for your inspirational speech. I now request all the dignitaries to felicitate today's chief guest and guests of honor. Please, sir. Thank you all. I now request General Chair Dr. Sharadji Joshi sir to present presidential remarks. Over to you, sir.
Afternoon once again. In fact, this president's remark was to be delivered by our Shankarannaji Munvalli, the member board of management, KLEIT Society, Belagavi. But because he just slightly indisposed, he couldn't make it to the function. And he has sent the written speech, and I would like to read his speech with the addition of a word here and there. The respected chief guest of today's function, Dr. Jia Saqib, the resource persons, Mr. Jayaprakash Thakur, Mr. Suman D, Dr. Manohar Pai, and Dr. Basaraj Anami, honorable speakers, Dr. Joanna Rosak from Poland and Dr. Hussein Mahdi from Iraq, who will be joining online, Dr. Rashmi Raj, professor from VTU, General Chair, Dr. Sharad Joshi, conference chairs, Dr. Manu Eriswamy, Dr. Eriswamy, Faculty of Electronics and Communication, Electrical and Electronics and Computer Science departments. And all the delegates and dear students, a very good morning to all of you. I'm very happy to be with you for the inauguration of IEEE International Conference on Intelligent Technologies. Our KLE Society, which is more than a century old and having 300 plus institutions, always cherishes research and innovation. Our institutions carry out research in all fields, including medical, engineering, pharmacy, agriculture, and other fields apart from in basic sciences and arts. Conferences like this provide an opportunity to the young researchers to interact with the experts in the field and take their work to new heights. I'm informed that more than 2,500 research papers were received from about 28 countries. This speaks of the popularity of the conference in scientific community. On behalf of the management of KLE Society, I thank IEEE office bearers for giving the opportunity to host the conference in our KLE Institute of Technology, Hubballi. It is indeed a privilege to do so. And rightly, our faculty, staff, and students have worked hard for the success of the conference. They will learn many things by participating in such events. The chief guest and the guests of honor, as well as the keynote speakers, are very learned persons in their respective fields. Our student volunteers also would be benefited by listening to the experts as well as being with those who have physically come to attend the conference. Organizing of this conference is a result of hard work of many people of this institute and from IEEE. I would like to put on record my appreciation to all those who have contributed in this regard. I once again thank the organizers for having invited me to preside over this function and wish the conference a grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. Manu TM, Dean Academics, KLEIT, who is having a great vision for the development of quality in the academics of the institute, to present vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Distinguished guests on the dais, dignitaries, heads of the departments, respected members of the IEEE community, esteemed speakers, my colleague friends, and my loving students. Good afternoon to one and all present here. On behalf of the entire management and institute, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our honorable chief guest of today's function, Dr. Jia Saqib sir, who in spite of his busy schedule accepted our invitation for gracing this occasion and delivering an insightful inaugural address, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. In his absentia, I wanted to thank Shri Shankaranna I. Manvalli, a member, governing body member, KLE Institute of Technology, Hubballi, who always supports with no second thought to conduct such an events on the campus, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. We extend our sincere thanks and heartfelt gratitude to our guest of honor, Dr. Manohar Pai, sir, for gracing this occasion. Your presence here today has truly elevated the significance of this conference, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Our sincere thanks to our another guest of honor and founder and former principal, Dr. B.S. Anami, sir. Your passion for education and research has shaped our institution growth. Sir, your contribution and guidance continue to inspire us to go ahead on the path of progress, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I extend my sincere thanks to distinguished speakers, Mr. Sumandi, Product Manager, SAP Lab, Bangalore, Dr. S. Jayaprakash Thakur, Principal Engineer in Intel Technology, Bangalore, Dr. Joanna Rosak, University of Gilenia, Salvoskia, Dr. Hussein Mahdi, IEEE PES Chair, Dayala University, who are going to deliver the keynote session post this function, which helps students, faculty, researchers to explore their knowledge in the technology, which is the need of our. We extend our heartfelt thanks to Sri Harish Patel for his continuous support from the day one to make this CONIT 23 a grand success. I think Harish Patel is give a good round of applause to him. I thank all the session chairs who accepted our invitation to chair the sessions, whose input through the presentation helps the student and faculty community to improve the research qualities. I also thank the participants who are presenting their research findings in the conference. And also, I wanted to thank the Bangalore section office bearers for providing us such a wonderful platform to showcase their papers. And I would like to thank our principal, Dr. Sharad Joshi sir, and the general chair of CONIT 23, who always supports and guides us to conduct such activities on the campus. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I thank all the media person for their presence and gracing this occasion. I thank from the bottom of my heart, convener Dr. Iraswamy, heads of the departments, organized committee members, Dr. Kumar Swamy, Dr. Sridhar Algi, Professor Ravi Vasmani, my colleague friends, IEEE volunteers, technical staff, KLEIT Sangeet Runda and Madhyam team, IT infrastructure and electrical maintenance for this support and for smooth conduction of this event. I would like to thank who I helped behind the scene to make this event a grand success. Lastly, I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to propose vote of thanks. Thank you. Last but not the least, let us embrace this opportunity to collaborate, learn, and share the knowledge with the aim of understanding the advancement in intelligent technology. So finally, I will end my words with the sayings Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir. Without your involvement, you cannot succeed. With your involvement, you cannot fail. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. I now request everyone to stand and join Sangeeta Vrunda in singing of our national anthem. Please.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे बोलो भारत माता की
We will be having keynote sessions. Yes. We are now ready to begin the sessions of CONIT 2023. Now we will be continuing with keynote sessions by Mr. Sumande, followed by Dr. Jay Prakash. We'll do this. I request everyone to take your seats. We will be continuing with the keynote session now. First keynote session will be by today's speaker, Mr. Sumande. I feel privileged to introduce Mr. Sumande. Mr. Sumande is a product manager for S4 Product Insights and Experience, having joined us up in 2015 as a scholar and holds a master degree in the software engineering from BITS Pilani. He has previously worked as a full stack cloud developer, research mentor, and Scrum coach for several SAP solution areas. He is also a part of the managing director's office at SAP Labs India for various people and strategic topics, while helping early stage growth startups to co-innovate with SAP. As a part of SAP Startup Studio, as a researcher, he has published over 30 works in international journals and conferences of IEEE, Springer, and elsewhere, including 4 book chapters, and is currently pursuing his PhD from IIT Kharagpur under the Department of Computational and Data Science. Mr. Suman has been associated with multiple conferences and journals of international repute as a reviewer, TPC chair, and a session chair, while focusing his guest lectures at the academic institutions on bridging gaps between academia and industry for the latest trends. Mr. Suman's work has won Best Paper Award and Pitching Challenges, and he has also been a thought leadership champion for his research contributions. With this brief introduction, it's my honor to present Mr. Sumande to this August gathering. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Maybe the most important question for all of you. Are you hungry? Okay, I'll try to keep it short. Okay, maybe while it is set up, first of all, thank you everyone from KLEIT for inviting me, all the dignitaries here. Whatever was spoken until now, I think half of my presentation is done, so it's a good news. I'm not going to take much time. And Dr. Zia, you were talking about how technology is helping businesses from a medical front. My research is not on humans, but on machines. So many of the things actually applies here as well. So I'll try to keep it short, not cover them. So what have I planned for today? We'll talk about a bit on technological advancements which has happened in the recent times. Importance of analytics. I think you're slowly able to relate, right? These are the topics which have already been talked about. And finally, Dr. Zia mentioned about one thing. No matter what we do technically, if people are not ready to spend money, bring the business value in, it's of no use at times. Somebody needs to fund your research as well. Somebody needs to actually buy your product when you're building something. So these are certain things that I'm going to cover. Also, I touch base upon my research that I'm doing as part of my research work. And yeah, try to keep it short as a result. But I would like to start this session with this question to all of you. What if social media was down, you're not able to access, let's say, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook? What happens? Frustration, right? Your anger. But let's say you join an organization and on 30th of that month, you don't get your salary. More frustration. Which one is more important? Salary, right? So when you talk about this kind of a situation, you can actually live without a WhatsApp, you can actually live without an Instagram, but if your salary is not credited at the end of the month, you become more frustrated. So how do you actually get your salary in your bank account? Who calculates that? Where is it maintained? So thanks to one of my colleagues, Piyush, who mentioned this, that if I'm ever going to talk about the importance of business, importance of organizations like SAP, I should start with this. Your salary is more important than updating your Facebook profile, right? So what we do as part of SAP is We try to build business applications that ensures that whatever work you have done is finally taken forward into some system through the finance department and finally to your bank account, and you're finally getting your salary. But when you're talking about business, there are so many things involved that you have to actually use terms like, I mean, we heard about intelligent technologies a lot, right? We need to use AI, we need to use machine learning to actually make things simpler, smoother, and faster for people. Again, we don't want anybody to suffer on the 30th of month, understanding that, okay, I still haven't got my salary, because that's important. And we are, after all, I mean, if I don't mention this particular line, generative AI today, I think some people might not, invite me for the next conference, right? It's so important. We are talking about ChatGPT. We were having a discussion yesterday night that you, in fact, have used ChatGPT in the best of manner. Assignments that took 2 weeks now are getting submitted in 1. But when you talk about assignment submission, is this everything that we are talking about? No. In businesses, when we talk about marketing solutions, you know the number of blogs they have to write in a month? The target for content generation team is 150 in a month by one person. And forget the assignments. When you think about actually being there, doing a particular job, you're asked to write 150 articles in 1 month. I was discussing this with one person. She mentioned that weekly she writes maximum of 8 articles. So in a month, she can write up till 35. But the target is 150. The moment you have a generative AI doing that job, it becomes much more easier. Actually, the target can be fulfilled. And again, without any plagiarism. So if you look at how technology is evolving, it is actually helping business trying to solve problems which couldn't have been solved before. I mean, 150 in a month is unbelievable. But when I talk about generative AI, when we talk about intelligent technologies, I would like to reiterate one of the discussions I had with one of my mentees. They came up with a solution for detecting certain things, and he was showing me a decision tree. Okay. And then I asked him, okay, how did you calculate the entropy? He's like, Suman, I used a library. Done. All good. I'm like, library? Okay. Didn't you calculate information gain? You didn't take the entropy values and then you finally came up with the decision? No, Suman, I just did this. The way industry is evolving, you have a lot of libraries. We were talking about Python yesterday night as well. When you talk about functional programming, when you talk about the power of such languages, Python, Node.js, you can actually get a lot of things done. But from an academic standpoint, you have the option of actually diving deeper, understand how those machine learning algorithms are working, understand how your entropy levels, entropy values are created or calculated, then your information gain, and then you finally define the entire decision tree, write that code. Because the moment you enter industry, there is a high possibility you'll just use libraries. But right now, as researchers, you have the option of diving deeper, doing specific research, trying to optimize. We heard about process optimization. You can actually think from the algorithm perspective, how can you optimize those things? So moving forward, what are the technological changes that has happened? So we have seen metaverse, we have seen GPT-4, we have seen a lot of things, blockchain, Bitcoin, blah, 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 quantum computing, so on and so forth. But what exactly is it? What exactly is happening? And this is somewhere related to the research that I'm doing. My focus is on Industry 4.2, where we are looking at the use of AI from a manufacturing standpoint. Now imagine, how many of you have laptops? Everyone? Okay. And how many of you, the day you bought your laptop, decided to go to Dolby for buying the sound system, and then you went to Jayaprakash sir's Intel for buying the chip, and then other devices separately? You didn't, right? You simply went to a Lenovo, HP, or Acer or whatever it is and bought your laptop. Did you ever imagine how your Dolby system works or was created and placed in the laptop that you bought from Lenovo? So there is an interlink between different industries or different companies which finally prepare your end product. Okay, you didn't separately go to Dolby to buy the sound system and then came back home one fine afternoon and then you are trying to put everything together. No, you didn't do that. You actually went and bought your Lenovo or HP or whatever laptop it is. So if you think from an organization standpoint, you need to maintain information about these small manufacturing companies. Okay, and they kind of form a network. Like we have Facebook, we have a network of friends. Similarly, there's a network of manufacturing plants which come together to finally produce an end goal or end product. Similarly, if you think about your laptop again and your sound system is not working, what do? Do you go to Dolby or do you go to Lenovo again or HP or whichever company it is? You go to a Lenovo or an HP, you don't go to Dolby. But is the fix done by them? Maybe not. So in the system somewhere, somebody is maintaining it. It's not a somebody, it's actually a software system which does it. So when you talk about AI for different purposes, can you improvise these processes? Business networks of OEMs is something that I mentioned. The last term, digital twins, is pretty interesting. There are over 10,000 research papers, if you look in Scopus, about digital twins. How they are represented. Somebody says 3D modeling, somebody says virtual reality, AR, VR, whatever. But is there a standard way of representing it? So my research is currently on how do we represent digital twins for manufacturing plants so that they can have a better understanding of data. If you have a laptop, if you have, or think about a car where your bonnet is coming from one organization, your tire is coming from MRF, so on and so forth, you're actually able to maintain entire data in a specific standard of digital twin. You can also do different sort of analytics as well on top of that. So how do we use a standardized process is something that I'm working on. The standard is called Asset Administration Shell, where we have different sort of data points. And I think I have that. This is basically what digital twin is, but this is how it looks. So if you have a model, or here we have a device from Schneider Electric, if I'm not wrong, they have this particular device whose entire information is maintained in a specific format. So let's say you want to do any analytics in terms of how it is being used, everything can be tracked using this. Or for example, if I'm a manufacturing plant and I need certain devices, I ask for a quotation or a memo telling them, okay, I need this particular part or spare part or equipment. They actually provide an Excel sheet. Somebody provides a Word document. But here it's a standard format which can actually help people to understand what a digital twin of a real life object is. Going back to the previous slide, I might have gone a bit forward. What is a digital twin? A digital twin is basically a digital representation of a real life object in simple words. And if you have the data set for such a real life object, you can do n number of things, n number of research, and a lot of potential actually opens up. So if you are interested in doing research here, try Googling Asset Administration Shell, digital twins, and what are the possibilities that can be leveraged. Okay. I'll not waste much time on these. So this is a larger representation of where cloud computing or different real-time analytics, blah, 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 kind of, comes together in one architecture. Not really important, but whatever I mentioned about the importance of digital twins, importance of the standard can be used in smart manufacturing, strengthening the assembly line. Again, you are all engineering students. This might sound like Latin, so ignore them. It's basically how you assemble all the smaller parts to get the final product. I mean, you buy a laptop, you don't buy a Dolby Digital, whatever sound system. So somebody has manufactured it and you finally get the end product. So this entire process can be improved, improvised, and this is something is related to your smart manufacturing. Similarly, you have different sorts of supply chains, network of manufacturer, which is called OEMs, and this digital twin representation kind of helps minimize or optimize the processes which are involved. Now, again, these are terms you might have come across. You have generative AI, we already talked about it a bit. Augmented analytics. If you have a digital twin representation of a physical object, can we do any sort of analytics on top of it? The answer is yes, because from an industry standpoint, we don't have access to the real data set most of the times. What do? We do synthetic data generation. When we talk about synthetic data generation, we are actually talking about generative adversarial networks, GANs, CT GANs, table GANs, whatsoever. So there are a lot of possibilities when you are thinking about how you generate data. So generative AI and augmented analytics kind of work hand in hand. No code, low code. There will be a time, and I think we were discussing this as well, that we won't need software developers, but actually that's not the case. You'll need software developers with a business mindset. Remember the first thing that we do when we are a child, and first time we get a laptop or a computer, we use paint. We simply draw rectangular boxes. So no code, low code platform is actually going towards there, where you can place certain boxes, add some values, logic to it, and your final application is ready. So these kind of developments are also happening, but at the same time, you need to be logically sound to use these. I read a very interesting article the other day. It was talking about ChatGPT. Why ChatGPT won't be successful in building end-to-end products yet. Maybe GPT-5, GPT-6, whatever, something someday comes, it might be able to. But right now, customers sometimes don't know what they want. So unless they tell us the right requirements, we have to go and understand, okay, what actually they want. For example, I'll have a trivia for you. Around a couple of decades back, there was a problem for tall multi-story buildings, 100 floors, 150 floors in US, and they had lifts. The problem was most of the people complained that the lifts are slow. So the association or whatever it was, they bought in Otis or Schneider, some company, and told them that this is the problem. Fine, they did some changes. 3 months back, they again came back and asked the people, okay, are you facing the same problem? They said, no, the lifts are very fast. We don't take any time to reach the topmost floor. Can any one of you tell me what was the solution? Sorry? You already knew it? Okay. Yes, the answer was mirrors. In one of the conferences, I asked this and somebody told me torque and some mechanical engineering terms, and I was like, okay, no, sorry, I have no idea what you're saying. The answer is mirrors. Because in this case, the customers were the users of lift and they had no idea what the actual problem was. The actual problem was they had nothing to do inside the lift. The moment you enter a lift with mirrors, you're looking at your hair, you're probably looking at yourself. A person like me would compare, okay, 3 years back, before COVID, I was thin. I used to play football, now I'm a football. But the point is, we had something to do inside. And the very reason, and the very reason why GPT-4 or the current model is not enough is because customers or anybody who wants to build an application might not know what they want. So you need software developers, you need software development organizations to have a discussion to understand their actual problems and build the final solution. So no code, low code platform will come into the picture. You will have RPA, conversational AI. I mean, if you go to an HDFC page, there's a chatbot waiting there, Ask Eva. You can get any information whatsoever, everything at the click of a button. You don't need a customer care person sitting there. And honestly, sometimes when you talk to certain customer care, they feel like chatbots. So why not have a chatbot doing that job for them? So I'll skip this in the interest of time. Here we had thinks about intelligent products, intelligent factories, assets, empowered people. There are, manufacturing plants in the world which do not need any sort of, human intervention. So we are going towards that direction. Again, not important. Analytics. You have a lot of data. Sorry for boring you. I saw your yawn. Analytics. Dr. Zia was mentioning about having medical IoT data and doing multiple sorts of analytics to understand, okay, 3 years later, this person's eyes are going to look like this, and try to make them understand better use, better take care, better take precautions to kind of go there. Similarly, here we have analytical possibilities for smart manufacturing, where you have the data set and you want to understand how is this machine going to function for the next 3 years. So there is something called vibration analysis, where we continue to have readings, and those readings help us understand how this machine is going to, perform, or is it in a right state, or is there a fault possible. So analytics from an automotive industry perspective works like that. Similarly, for a business marketer, they want to understand how much sales they have made, or what is the forecast of customers or users that you can get. So those kind of analytics are important from a business standpoint. And there as well, if you are a data scientist, again, we are coming back to those terms, data scientist, analyst, and all those things. You have a lot of possibilities of doing n number of research using existing algorithms, and also coming up of your own. This is important for me because in my role, I'm a product manager come analyst. Someday I'm a product manager, someday I'm an analyst, someday I'm just using Microsoft Excel and trying to figure out patterns. Trust me, Excel is amazing, because the amount of statistical things that you can do there, you can probably use a Power BI, or you can write your own Python code, but Excel can still serve a lot of purposes. So in my role, I try to understand how our customers are using our applications, and then help our product managers, product owners to take a constructive call. Okay, these are the features that can be used, these are the features which can be invested upon more. For example, if you look at Microsoft Excel, how many of us use it as a statistic tool? We actually use it as a tool for just storing data, but we don't do enough analysis with it. But trust me, you can do a lot. So when I am a product manager for Excel, I might not invest a lot on the statistical purposes, although it is powerful, because a lot of users are not using it in the first place. So this is part of my job. This chart kind of is important for someone who wants to understand income breakdown. I do not understand it, but this UI, these kind of UIs are useful if you are somebody who wants to have a track of forecast, want to do prediction, so on and so forth. And it can be in various fields. Not important, but we talked about a lot on business side. We talked about a lot of the technology side. I'll come back to the business side again, because one needs to understand that whatever we are doing and the possibilities that are open thanks to these business processes lets us do more research on top of it. So what are these business needs? Your college has an HR department, and so does my organization. There are logistic problems. If you are aware of dabbawalas, do you know dabbawalas? Yes? No? Okay. Dabbawalas became very famous and were, I think, given Guinness Book of World Record for their supply chain. From houses to the end goal, that is their offices, they would provide lunch boxes without error. So the concept of supply chain came into the picture, where you do not go to a farm to get your Tata tea in the morning, right? You actually purchase it from a shop. But how did it get there? From tea leaves to a wholesaler to a retailer to a shopkeeper to finally at your bedroom in the morning. How did it happen? Somebody needs to maintain the data so that there are not many inconsistencies happening, right? So there's sorry about this. So there's logistics, there's supply chain. You also need to ensure that your customers are happy. So customer relationship management. I mean, these are business terms and you might be thinking, what should an engineer do with these? But you need to understand these processes where you can do much more innovation. Now you have a possibility of using technical aspects into this so that you can make people's life easier. These are certain processes which we actually do. For example, if you buy a laptop, what do you do first? You look at Amazon, you search for different laptops which are available at your budget, and then you finally decide, okay, this is the laptop I want to buy. You pay the money and it gets delivered to your place and you get the invoice, right? So this is an end-to-end process which happens for different purposes, not just for buying your laptop, even for an organization. So if you look at the first term, that is quote to cash, from asking for a quotation to actually paying the bill, these are certain processes which are helpful for you to make process improvements from an industrial standpoint. Similarly, there are forecast to delivery, hire to retire, and so on and so forth. Not important, but you can actually look into these business processes to use the knowledge you have about different AI models, machine learning models, and help it out. Do some research on top of it. Research and product growth. How things evolved. Do your literature survey properly, because there you'll have, I mean, not just literature survey from your research papers, but also on existing solutions, because then you'll be able to solve some burning business problems as well. There are some examples like Adloid and Drona Maps, Yellow.ai. These are organizations which basically used different technological benefits to rise and shine. In fact, I'm pretty sure Dr. Zia, your company is also doing similar lines. So if you use technology to solve any of the business problems, it helps for the larger good as well. These are some research papers which have been published by me in the last few years. First one is how you can improvise or improve process in cloud resource management, or can we use the same topic to actually solve resource management problem in an organization. The second one is about project management, where again we used machine learning to better understand if a project will be successful or not. Because a company spends millions and billions of dollars, and if you can tell even before the start of a particular project that this will be successful or a failure, the company doesn't have to invest in the wrong stuff, right? So using your AI, ML, or any intelligent technologies that you come across for the benefit of business helps you gain value for customers, products, and maybe have a patent research paper for yourself as well. But you can actually start with understanding the business as well as how you can relate it with technology. Last one is more on the lines of how we can understand fault or error in an existing device or machine. So we used image segmentation, and I'm going back to the image inspection part as well, where you can look at a certain image. If there is a difference between two images, can you tell that, okay, this has some error, or can we fix it even before it kind of stops the entire plant? So these are certain research work which are published, and yeah, more or less, this is what I wanted to cover, giving you a perspective about business, technology, and how you can relate them for your own research so that you solve a problem which creates value. For example, we don't hear much about metaverse, but we still hear a lot about ChatGPT, and we will be hearing, because how much do you pay for that? Not much. So the business side, the cost side comes into the picture as well, and helps you understand whether you can solve a particular problem. Does the business requires it? Is there money in it? Because no matter how much you think about the technology, unless it is used by someone, it might not be beneficial. So these are certain things you can keep into consideration. And yeah, if you want to connect, please feel free to do so. You can scan the barcode and reach out to me. Thank you. Any questions, or maybe we can take it later in the interest of time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your interesting session. Next keynote session will be from Dr. Jay Prakash Thakur. I'll feel privileged to introduce Dr. Jay Prakash Thakur. Sir is a senior IEEE member, obtained his MSc degree in Electronics and Telecommunication from Devi Ahalya University, Indore, and PhD in Microwave Electronics from Delhi University, India, in 1997 and 2004, correspondingly. Sir joined as a research scholar at Defense Research Monolithic Microwave Integrated Circuits Technology. Sir pursued his postdoctoral research at Kokomin University, Seoul, South Korea, from organization, and joined Amphenol at Shanghai, China as a RF engineer and completed several mobile phone antenna design projects from 2007 to 2009. Sir then went back to academic research and joined Guangzhou Institute of Science and Technology, South Korea, as a research professor, where he became engaged in wave quasi-optical image sensing radar antenna array design. Sir joined Intel Technology Bangalore in 2011 as antenna design engineer, and currently is working as a principal engineer in antenna design and wireless system integration. Sir drives antenna architecture, innovation, and wireless integration into client systems for Intel's advanced PC design platform, helping Intel Evo Vision deliver optimal wireless performance. His depth in antenna technology and breadth in EMI or EMC material science, PCB technology, mechanical system design, millimeter wave antenna array technology has made him well to contribute to many wireless products such as mobile phones, tablets, IoT devices, and PC subsystems. Sir has developed several patented antenna solutions for 5G, WLAN, internal antenna, and published its placement guidelines for various form factor PC system. Sir has nearly 24 years of exposure in research and industrial product design at renowned universities, research organization, and reputable mobile product companies, including 11 years at Intel. Sir is co-authored over 40 technical journals and conference papers. Sir filed about 35 US patents, 6 of them have already been granted. With this brief introduction, I present Dr. Jaiprakash Thakur, sir, to this August gathering. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for the introduction. I'm happy to come and meet my academia colleagues again. And that is good opportunity for me to actually connect with like a industry academia kind of, right? So there are a lot of things I can also learn while speaking and giving the talks like that. Yeah, you can see here my core research area is wireless domain, but I work in the semiconductor industries, and I'm working in semiconductor industry, and also work and did some research before joining Intel in the semiconductor field, right? But I'll talk today about the wireless, how this is this industry, actually wireless industry is helping and growing, right, in this era. So how it works? Can I go next? I cannot do like this. Okay. What do you understand by this picture? Any guess? Okay, I'll tell you. This is kind of an analogy, right? When we study something, then we just study like oh, that is written in the book, you read and understand in that language itself. Like suppose if you are working, study the Ohm's law, and there you are seeing the relation between the voltage, current, and resistor, right? So you are saying this Ohm's law is working like that. That is the relation between current. But can you correlate this with some other technology, or what is near to you, like what you are working every day, right? Like a tap, water tap. You can see that there is a pipeline is there. Pipeline, water flows. There is a tank on the head.
So tank is basically a potential, nothing with your voltage, right? So there is a potential and it's going from one side to the other side. And between that, there is a line, a pipeline, basically that is the what flowing there. Charges are flowing, which is contains in the, that can understand water as a charge, right? So similar kind of analogies, if you can see, like what is that? Like this is kind of a antenna, right? Antenna radiates, and this is the basic for the wireless communication. Means I can say the primary element for the wireless communication is antenna, right? Which actually transfer guided wave into the wave in the air. So similarly, if you can see how to understand the antenna technology, you can see that there is a correlation. Like if there is a fire, then you are sitting towards that, then fire is actually everywhere, right? Fire is everywhere. Similarly, a sprinkler is there. So but it goes, water is actually going here, like you can see everywhere is spreading everywhere. Similarly, if there is an antenna actually it spreads the electromagnetic wave in the sky, or you can say in the environment. So that is the technology. Now you can actually go in deeper. Like if you understand the fire better, you can go through the fire. If you shrink the fire from where fire is coming, then actually you can see that you will have the very less access to that particular temperature again, right? It will be less. Similarly, it will happen in the antenna also. If your aperture is bigger, you will have the more wider radiation pattern. But if aperture you are shrinking the aperture, then your radiation pattern will be radiation will reduce. So this is how you can actually start, like how I actually understand the things, right? So analogy is very important. You can also, when you study, do some analogy, and when you are reading something, right? So yeah, that is what about the antenna. But you can see that next here, like how the antenna is relevant in the telecommunication industry, right? When you go to the telecommunication industry, there is like a 1G, 2G, 4G. Up to now, people are talking about the 6G, but 6G is not yet real. But you can see 5G. I can see in my mobile, it started showing 5G. Right? So that is it. It happens always. Research, and when we work and we start talking, it takes 10 to 15 years to actually realize the technology comes in the use. Right? So here you can see how we grow, right? When we are studying that time, we didn't have the phone even. When I joined the research, I was in Delhi. That time, actually, I had the 2G phone first time. Then in 2G phone, what you can do, only voice you can communicate, right? Because this the technology is like a very just like it was transformed from the phone to the cellular phone. Then after that, there is a 3G where you are able to actually have the first internet is introduced in the era of 3G. Then 4G came. That time actually you are able to stream the videos, internet, everything. Everything is reachable to you. And then now is 5G. When 5G, so now we have the basic setup. Like we can actually have the access of video, internet, everything is there. Now what is important? What I want when I watch the video, I want something very fast. It should move. Right? There should not be any streaming on that. Right? It should not take some circle for more time. So here 5G works here, and 5G they promise to have the 1 millisecond kind of your latency. So now 6G, where and also there is some of the frequency band they are using the millimeter wave. It is start from 24 gigahertz to 40 gigahertz, and also there is like a connectivity, like a car connectivity. So many devices, IoT devices are there. This is not restricted only to the phone now. This is coming everywhere, right? So this is the advantage of 5G even in the medical application, right? You can have doctor somewhere and patient is somewhere, then still you can do the treatment. And 6G is again, they are saying speed and low latency, latency in the micro level now, and frequency used is the terahertz frequency they are going to use in the 6G. Okay, and that is about the cellular, how cellular is the changing. The next one is the Wi-Fi, right? Another communication or wireless communication important is the wireless communication Wi-Fi. In Wi-Fi, you can see there is all a different kind of gen over gen there is changes. You can see from 2007 there was just like there was still 2.4 and 5 gigahertz were there, but technology was used where that is called 64 QAM technology. Right? And now in 2024, previously there was, as I told before, there was two frequency band. Why there is two frequency bands are important? Like a 2.4 gigahertz, you can cover the more range, and 5 gigahertz, you can actually target the speed. If you are very close to the router, then basically you can have the more data, or your bandwidth of the data will be more. So that is the important of the 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. And now 6 and 6C, there is a concurrent two channels, two different frequency bands can work. Means like suppose one frequency band is 2.4 gigahertz, at the same time 5 gigahertz also work. So both frequency bands will work together. Like one you can connect with your TV, another one you can use in your home communication. So now next one is Wi-Fi 7. That is further there are frequency band is included. One more frequency band included in the 6E, that is 6 to 7 gigahertz. That is not captured here, but that is there. Then Wi-Fi 7, it will have more advanced than the 6E, and they will use the 4096 QAM technology. So that would be like you can actually have the more bandwidth and low latency in this technology. So this is about the Wi-Fi technology. Then next one, you can see these are the devices where we are using the all the communication technology, right? These all are wirelessly connected, including AR, VR. Now this is recently Apple has launched the VR, correct? And anyway, Facebook and other guys, they already have. So these all actually technology is needed more data and higher speed. So that's why technology is actually evolving, correct? So other than that, we have the our own home automation. Then there is automated car. So this kind of technologies actually uses the wireless communication. So here now, so these all are uses. But what is the what I said right before? Antenna is the key element, or you can say the primary element, which can actually change the guided wave to the your in the air, all right, radiation or electromagnetic waves. So here in this phone design, there is, if this is a 5G phone, then what you need, there is a 4 antennas are needed, 4 antennas for 5G and 2 antenna for Wi-Fi. Total 6 antenna for sub-6 5G is needed. Then there is millimeter wave, what I said, right? Millimeter wave also required for the 5G. Then at least 3 millimeter wave are there. I'm going a little bit more technical. I hope there is a electronics students also there. So you can understand, other than the digital part, there is a RF is involved in the mobile phone or a laptop kind of system. So and this design is going very difficult day by day, because you can see here the graph. Previously frequency band was used just like a one frequency band, that was 960 megahertz frequency band. Now that is from 600 to 6 gigahertz frequency band is used in the 5G frequency bands. Okay. And antenna technology is also evolving with the time, because that's why you are seeing the slim phone, different kind of phone, from full metal phone, a very expensive phone. Because of this kind of things, you can see previous design antenna was look like this in the mobile, inside the mobile phone system, and the back cover of the system was plastic. But now complete phone is metal. Then just like there is a split in the metal, This part is antenna here. So here you can just say black color. Black color is actually splitting the system ground from the antenna. So this kind of technologies came with the time, and we are able to see the complete metal and very slim kind of a phone design. Okay. It's going go back one more. Yeah, so this is what is my work in the current job. So here you can see in the Intel, you know that they make the processor, and selling the processor, as usual, there he was like someone was saying that like you need the complete ecosystem, and you need to understand the so many things, right? So similarly, even I am the antenna engineer or RF wireless engineer, but I have to understand complete system, how the complete system works right here. You can see here, there are so many things. There is a CPU is somewhere here, and CPU get heated. So for that, you need to cool that CPU processor. So you need thermal engineer. You need some expert in the battery side. And there is a board engineer, PCB board engineer. There are so many IO ports are there. So, and also like how to make this system thin, you need someone who is expert in the mechanical system design also. So one system, there are so many engineers are needed to design a simple one system, right? And also like there is a, you can see these are the places, very small places where antennas are placed, what you are seeing the yellow color. Similarly, you can see in the phone how complex packing or package inside the phone. So when you are working or when in the academia side, right, go to the some of the Google, there is iFixit and this kind of sites are there. When you want to read something, like you are reading the microprocessor or you are reading some of the components, go and understand where this is used and how this is used in the system, right? You from this kind of when you open this kind of system, you can see here where are the parts, how this is used, so that you can understand better, right? And this all things like Intel, what they do, like what is it, Lenovo and HP, Dell and other ASUS, right? This all are doing the research by their own, but Intel is also doing the research by himself or herself. Like why they do? Because they want to sell the processor. To sell the processor, you need to actually sell the complete white product, right? White level product you have to sell. You can say, go to the customer, go to Lenovo, you can say, see, this product is ready. I optimize my processor for this product, and this is the slim, thin and light kind of a system design. So they take, as it is sometime, they take some of the technologies from there, and we do after that, once they, even Lenovo, HP, they design the system and come to the market, that before that there are so many testing done, and that testing, based on that testing, Intel gives the EO brand. So if you say Intel EO there, it means that is tested and that is the best product in the industry. So this is how EO brands work in the Intel. So with that, I have the last slide. Go to the next one. Thank you. So here you can see that when you integrate the wireless in the system, there are so many things. There is like one is the, like when you design the system, that's why I said thin and light system we are seeing in the market, why this system is more expensive. So you can see there is a restriction, like I want to design the complete metal system because it should look good. Customer want good looking system. But thing is, when you integrate something wireless kind of things inside the system, for better performance, you need some space for the device to radiate, like antenna kind of devices. So, but you will not get the plenty of the space in the system. There are the people will say, no, 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 I will not give the area for you. Just have this much area where you can place the your wireless integrated or antenna you can place there, right? So now system complication, right? You can see here system are getting thinner, foldable, and there are a lot of certifications required. So this all the there are so many complexity when you go for the system design. You are not the only guy, like you, whatever good you are, but you are not the only guy who designed the system. There are so many guys, they designed the system. That's why that is called the system. That's how system work. You can even correlate systems, like how systems work in my company. Similarly, how systems work in the laptop. Similar kind of analogy is there. With that, I'm done. And thank you very much. I have few more slides, but I think this is 1:30 already. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, sir, for this interesting session. I now request Dr. Manu TM sir to present memento to Mr. Sumande. Yes. Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. Erisomi sir to present memento to Dr. Jay Prakash sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone, for gracing this occasion. I now request everyone to join in quadrangle for photo session. There is a couple of announcements. Paper number 1349 and paper number 1530 and 1651. Post the photo session. You people are informed to go to civil seminar hall for your paper presentation. After photo session, all of you are requested to join for lunch. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. All registered participants and volunteers and all dignitaries, please civil seminar hall. Near civil seminar hall, please gather near civil seminar hall. Lunch. Photo session is in quadrangle, sir. For lunch, it is in civil seminar hall.